Before I get started, I do want to apologize for any camera quality issues and the ongoing glare and blur effects that are mainly due to my dirty screen protector that's on top of a cracked phone. I am gonna get a new phone sometime before I move out because I need my own plan. So I'm just gonna do that, but yeah, so sorry about the visuals in the meantime. I can't really use my iPod to film because it doesn't hold a charge, and it also has problems with the screen protector now that I had to put one on. So, and the thing doesn't really line up. The case doesn't really fit this thing, so sorry about that again. I hope it's not an issue for anybody. Thank you. Bye-bye. There isn't really much for me to say in terms of an intro here, so let's talk about some songs. I literally have nothing else to say other than I just kind of want to talk about music that I didn't get to yet, so we're gonna do that. Let's go. So if you didn't watch the video I made a couple months ago where I talked about my thoughts on several big songs and albums, particularly Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License, and I talked about the deluxe reissues of Dua and Ariana Grande's albums, and I did talk about some K-pop in that list as well, particularly Chunga's album Quinceañera and a couple other notable releases, mainly Dreamcatchers and Idols. But here I am with Pink Fantasy, which is a group that I've been rather interested in for a while. Mainly because I heard their track Fantasy, and I saw they were basically ripping off Dreamcatcher's Chase Me, which, again, given that I love Dreamcatcher, wasn't really a bad thing for me. Shadowplay was one of my favorite tracks of last year. Absolutely loved the Indian vibe of the song, and overall it just sounded fantastic. And then we got into Lemon Candy. I didn't really know what to expect going into this, as I heard this was a B-side from a potential upcoming project that they just decided to release early because there were no releases. I've also learned that this group seems to kind of be bleeding members, and they have guest members now, and it's just kind of an odd situation. I do hope they make an album or EP or whatever in the future, but out of all the songs they've released, this is probably one of the more lackluster ones, besides Playing House, because that one is really unmemorable. But I do still like this. It took a while for it to grow on me. I thought the production felt really cheap, and the song just felt like it was cobbled together quickly, like they had to cobble together a music video, and it came a little late for Christmas, but I did still enjoy the song. It's super bubbly and energetic. I think it would honestly work really well for someone like Everglow if they ever decided to go back to a cute concept. So, yeah, this is good, but I still really want to see more from this group. So I already talked about Dreamcatcher's Korean comeback with Odd Eye, and here we are with their Japanese comeback Eclipse, and it's fine. What am I really supposed to say at this point? They released a 3-song EP here, including the track No More from last year, which is one of their heaviest songs, but it kind of doesn't work in a lot of interesting ways. I don't really know how to explain No More. It has these weird peaks and troughs, and Dreamcatcher it seems to be more in their rock element when releasing Japanese songs, which does make sense given the J-rock scene over there. So here we are with Eclipse, which again is a fine Japanese single for Dreamcatcher in my opinion. I think it's really overshadowed by the B-side though, which is Don't Light My Fire. I love this song. The piano really makes it work really well. And the chorus is super anthemic. But what I have to say about this song in the end is I feel like this is a very similar situation to when Dreamcatcher released their full-length Japanese album a couple years back, and the title track was called Breaking Out, which I wasn't really a big fan of, but they had a B-side on there called My Way, which is an absolute banger, and I feel like that's kind of the equivalent we've gotten with Don't Light My Fire here. So yeah, definitely check out this song, even if you're not into the full album on the whole. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. So, ITZY released their English debut, remaking all of their singles in English, and yeah. JYP's English lyrics have never been great, and especially a song like Wannabe, it doesn't fit the meter, and it just sounds really jarring. The girls' pronunciation is actually really good, and I'll give them props there, but whoever is writing the English lyrics isn't really great. However, I thought Not Shy was easily the best of the English songs. This one doesn't feel super awkward, as a lot of the songs are already in English, and it fits pretty well for what it is. I can see this being an English version I actually like listening to, like Idol's La Ta Ta. It's a pretty decent one. The rest of the songs, though, God no. Icy feels even worse and more trend riding when it's in English. Just skip that, please.
I'm dying today. Out of my way, I'm a legend and I'm here to stay. Going away, did it my way. 바퀴만 하면 다 길이 되네. 비가 내리면 I'll dance in the rain.
So I didn't talk about this in the first episode, but this is a Korean hip-hop group called Epic High, which I've never really listened to. I'm not really into K-hip-hop. However, I was prompted to check this song out because CL is on it, and CL is a fucking queen. If you don't know, she's a former member of 2NE1, and here we are with this song, and the guys actually have a really good flow. They're definitely talented, and I like how they ride this very smooth, sultry, Latin-inspired beat. CL is absolutely awesome as always, and I absolutely love hearing this. I didn't listen to the whole album, but I also did hear a song called True Crime with Miso, which is a really nice song. The build-up is really tense, and then it has this kind of chill chorus, and I like it a lot. It's an interesting combination of tense rapping and an easy listening vibe, which I can really appreciate. The production is great on this song. It's really dark overall. The only other song I heard was based on a true story by with Hyzy, which was okay. But yeah, definitely check these out if you're interested. I don't think I talked about this song yet, but there's really not much to say about it. It's a very blatant sample lift, which is really obvious. And Ava Max has done this with pretty much every song. I do like it. It's a fun house song for what it is, but man, is this derivative. I can't decide if I like this or Kings and Queens better. I think Kings and Queens was definitely more ambitious, but the lyrics to this one are better, even though they're still not great. I don't really know. Both songs are better than Sweet Girl Psycho in my opinion, but there isn't much else to say about Head and Heart. It just kind of exists. Ooh, baby! I did talk about SHINee's comeback in the last album, but I did not get to Sunmi's, as I actually hadn't listened to it yet. I did react to this on my reactions video, and God, this is good. Of course it is. It's Sunmi. What else do I expect at this point? This feels like the more older, mature, and sophisticated version of 24 Hours, which was her debut solo single from back in 2013. This song is super sexy, and while I don't like it as much as the more softer, romantic synth-pop vibes of something like Poor Peepum, which is an absolute gem, a song like this still really works for Sunmi. And she made it kind of a dark horror concept with the video, while still being sexy and basically using a concept that was based off Catwoman, which, given that I saw part of the movie, that should not have worked, but it did. Because Sunmi can make literally anything work. And this is why Tail is such a masterpiece for what it is. It's not a song I want to put on all the time, it's kind of a situational one for me, but when it does hit hard, man, Tail really does it for me. It's great. I really want to talk about this album more in depth at a later date, but I'm not really sure when. I might do a discography overview for this group at some point, which is still a series I haven't gotten off the ground. I've been really bad about uploading, and I do apologize. However, I mean, Evanescence is back. They're one of my favorite bands. Of course, I love this. There are some questionable production choices overall. The single they're pushing is Better Without Me, which is fine. I really like Yeah Right as a single, and I've learned to appreciate songs like The Game Is Over more in context of the album. Other songs that I like on here are Take Cover and Broken Pieces Shine and Part of Me. Feeding the Dark's probably my favorite. It feels a lot more like a classic Evanescence song. I definitely want to talk more about this album in the future, but for now, it's good, but pretty derivative.
My whole life just to get right, just to be like, look at me, I'm never coming down. I work my whole life just to get right, just to realize everything I need is on the, everything I need is on the ground.
Okay, so here we are with Rosé's solo debut. If you don't know, Rosé's a member of Blackpink, and this song, On the Ground, is basically about finding success and not really finding anything there, and trying to be ambitious and thinking you'll be bulletproof when you're successful, which obviously isn't true, which is a really nice framing. The song sounds pretty nice too. It starts off pretty acoustic. Rosé has a nice voice, and you get to the chorus with this weird kind of buzzed out synth. It's really characteristic of YG and Teddy particularly, and I get it, but it does feel kind of jarring. It still makes the song decent. The B-side Gone is a very sparse piano ballad about lost love, which I do like. I see how it's good. I feel like it's a song I respect more than I like. It's a little too spare and stripped back, in my opinion. But overall, this was a decent debut for Rosé, and I can't wait to hear what Lisa's. Okay, so I didn't pay attention to this because I just wasn't vibing with it at first, but wow, after a lot of repeated listens, I'm Not Cool really slaps. Hyuna is a queen as always, even though she does kind of sound like she's on helium the whole time. But yeah, no, she's super talented, obviously, and does carry a lot of charisma. This song is a pretty empty chorus of a drop, but it's fine. I like it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I do like the drop for this one. The only other song I heard from this EP was Good Girl, which is a pretty decent B-side. I think it did deserve the video it got, so yeah. If you're into this kind of thing, check it out. If not, you can skip it. It's definitely a taste thing. Has grown on me a bit. This is a new debut from a group called Tribe, and as I don't follow boy group debuts, this was probably the first girl group debut I heard about this year, and man, this Afrobeat stuff is getting really old. But on the positive side, the girls sound good, and the song does have a decent swell to it. But yeah, other than that, it is really derivative. The B-side Loca is better in my opinion. It's way catchier, even to a fault at points. Not that I understand why they're using Spanish language, but whatever. But yeah, this song actually kind of reminds me of Black Widow by Iggy Azalea of all things, in the beat. But yeah, there isn't much else I'm supposed to say here. Overall, a decent debut, but I want to hear more from them, and I want to see something more unique. One of my favorite debuts of the year so far, and also one of the most puzzling. This group is called Pixie, and they kind of seem to have a horror concept a la Dreamcatcher based on the video, which of course I'm on board with. However, the song is odd. I do like it. I don't want to get that out of the gate. but this song feels like a mess in terms of production. And, like, it's suffering from some serious whiplash. You got the verses with this super hard-hitting rap from somebody who really sounds like Moongil from Mamamoo, and then you've got this, like, really light and airy type of chorus vocal before the heavy trap percussion comes back in for the chorus, which I like, and I do think this song really swells and hits hard, but it does feel a bit disjointed. Also, the vocal on the bridge feels really clipped and it does not sound good. No offense to the girl, but just the way it's produced and mixed into the mix does not sound good. I do really think this rapper has a ton of potential though, and I think these girls do have a ton of potential, and I can't wait to hear them with more polished production. But for what this is, I like this as a hype song, but as far as it being good, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a mess. So Aviva's one of my favorite alternative pop artists that I've discovered. Even cooler that she's also an author. But the point I'm making here is that her songs are pretty much all really good for me. I loved Girls. It's one of my favorite songs from her, and I also heard Psycho. I'm thinking that song was really good. She has some others too, like Hush and Rabbit Hole, which I really like. Aviva overall kind of goes for this futuristic cyberpunk aesthetic in her music. She's really into the dystopian side of things. Kind of reminds me of what Halsey was doing way back with New Americana and stuff like that, except way better. And this new single, Houdini, I do like it a lot. It sticks out to me a lot more than her last single, which was Antihero, which was fine in my opinion. But this song has a really great vibe to it. I like the echoing and the kind of darker vibe overall. It's definitely good, but far from Aviva's best. I heard she just released another song a couple days ago, so I'm gonna check that out very soon. So, yeah, definitely recommend her if you haven't listened to her before.
Do you really wanna test me? 내가 어떤 년인 것 같아? Do you really wanna? 내가 어떤 년인 것 같아?
I'll be honest and say I've never really been a fan of Jessie. As I said, I've not been a huge fan of K-hip-hop in general. I'm not really sure if she is a hip-hop artist or EDM, rap. I don't really know what I'm supposed to think of with Jessie. She has a very aggressive personality, and I see how her personality is actually really likable, especially when I see TikToks and videos of her doing dance challenges. I honestly find her to be a much more likable personality than she comes off in her songs. She comes off really aggressive, and like I said, I've never really been a fan of her voice, but this is probably one of the better songs I've heard from her. Again, her rapping and talent's good. This song has a really abrasive synth horn type of drop, and I kind of like it. It's very off-putting if you're not used to that type of thing, but it definitely caught my attention, which is more than I can say about something like Nunu Nana, for example. That song just did nothing for me. But yeah, I still wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of Jessie, but this song is pretty decent. Although, it's definitely not for everyone. This is another debut from a group called Purple Kiss. I heard a lot of buzz about this group before they debuted, and I heard they had a couple pre-debut singles. I didn't really hear the first one or much buzz about it, but I heard Can We Talk Again, which is a really fantastic ballad with some absolutely stellar vocals for rookies. And this song feels really sophisticated. It almost kind of reminds me of a Red Velvet song, one of the jazzy, sophisticated ones. I absolutely love this, and I was really shocked. I thought the debut song, Pozono, was pretty good as well. It's super catchy, and the girls sound really great here. This one reminds me a little more of, it's a sophisticated version of Woo-Ah. I mean, I know that sounds funny to say, but, this is a Mamamoo song, and it didn't surprise me, because I heard they're from RBW, which is the same company as Mamamoo, which really didn't surprise me at all. These people seem too good to be rookies, which, I mean, Mamamoo, when they were rookies, were kind of in the same boat, so, yeah. this didn't feel right to me from being some nobody group from some random company. Yeah, they're from RBW, and I definitely see a bright future for these girls. Definitely check this out.
Spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. 붐붐 시작부터 튀었지.
Here's another girl group debut, this time from Majors. Now, apparently they had a comeback a couple days ago. I haven't listened to it yet, but I did hear their debut, which was called Spit It Out, and I mean, what am I supposed to say about this song? It's super infectious. It's produced by Olipop, so outside of Zimzalabim, he can really do no wrong. I mean, he produced La Di Da and Adios by Everglow, two of my favorite songs, so what am I really supposed to say? It doesn't reach the heights of that, or even something like Feel Special, which was also produced by him, but this song just kind of feels really good. It has this super infectious vocal loop that kind of loops throughout the entire instrumental and serves as the drop as well. I definitely hear potential from these girls, but nothing that stands out too awful crazy. It's mostly just a very solid produced song. The B-side Stronger goes for a lot more of a trap element. I kind of like this a lot, but I'm not really sure what to say about it, so yeah. Well, this was weird. I definitely wasn't expecting to feel this way about our Treasure song. So if you don't know, Treasure is this huge 12-member boy group from YG Entertainment, and yeah, I was not vibing with them. I don't pay much attention to a lot of new boy groups. They are from a big three company, so I was a little more interested to see what this group was gonna be, but I did not like the brassy abrasiveness of something like Boy, which was their debut single. I thought it was fine. I thought their second song, I Love You, was a good bit better, but then MMM really dropped the ball. That song's trash with the production. So I really wasn't expecting to hear something so light and fun from this group. It honestly kind of sounds like a 17 song in a way. And it also really reminds me of older Gen 2 or 3 K-pop. I don't really know how to explain this song. It's just super pleasant and endearing, which is absolutely not what I was expecting to hear from this group. But anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised. Definitely check it out.
You can make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. Let's build a doll, got sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. Let's build a doll, got sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine.
Well, this is a weird one. This is a collaboration between Chromance, who it seems to be this person's first single. They're wearing this weird metal mask on the cover, and Momoland, or at least 5 members of Momoland? I thought they were down to 6. They've been bleeding members ever since Boom Boom, but come on. Where did the other girl go? I don't even know what's going on at this point. But yeah, Momoland's a K-pop group that really blew up with his song Boom Boom a few years back. In 2018, it was pretty catchy, and I loved the song, honestly, but then they just kept making the same song over and over. Now, I'll give them credit for this. This is completely different on a weird style EDM collaboration with a dollhouse concept and these weird high-pitched cutesy vocals to fit the vibe of the dollhouse. This is a really interesting type of EDM. If anything, it almost reminds me of something like Melanie Martinez would make. I really don't know what else to say about this song. It's just weird. It's not bad, but... well, I wasn't expecting to hear this, that's all I will say.
Thank you for this, 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 thank you for life, thank you for life, thank you for life, thank you for life, thank you for me, thank you for me, thank you for me, thank you for me, thank you for this like me.
So for those who don't know, Yuno is a member of TVXQ, which is a senior group they've been around since 2003 technically, even though there's only 2 members that are still part of TVXQ because the others left and filed a lawsuit against SM Entertainment in 2009. However, the 2 members that are left, Max and Yuno, have released solo material somewhat recently, and this was Yuno's comeback. He released 2 songs here, Eeny Meeny, which I thought was alright, and the better of the 2, Thank You. He did release a full-length album, which I didn't listen to, but again, I thought this song was good. The highlight here is definitely the video, which takes a Crime Boss film aspect. Definitely check it out if you're curious, but the song itself is pretty good. It's got the more sophisticated adult sound of a lot of SM artists, which I do really like. And the concept of the song works pretty well as well. It really fits, especially when you watch the video. It's a great time. But yeah, it's not my favorite song to just randomly throw on, but it does fit a mood, and it's definitely a good one.
Like a true.
What I said, boom, boom, boom. What I said, boom, boom, boom. What I said, boom, boom, boom. What I said, boom, boom. Yeah, Johnson.
Another surprising boy group entry for me. Like I said, I don't really follow boy groups all that much, but this was a song I just kind of heard randomly, and it's a banger. This group's Victa, and I've heard a couple of their songs by them. I can't really remember which ones, because honestly all the boy group songs kind of blend together for me. But this is a song that stuck out to me for having a super catchy chorus. Again, something about it really reminds me of 17, until we get to the second verse, where I don't know who this rapper is, but he's absolutely insane. The fact that this is on a single here, and it's just absolutely crazy. I really find myself being impressed with boy groups nowadays. I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh, doing crazy jumps and insane choreography is just the norm at this point. It's nothing that really impresses me. But this rapper is insane, and there isn't much else to really say about it. It's just exceeded expectations, and it's a song that I find super catchy and fun to listen to.
And all these bitches fuck is big bags busting out the Bentley band. Take a man, working back, party back, and all you bitches fuck. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck.
I put this song on my list of my favorite songs in the first quarter, but I didn't talk about it yet. Up by Cardi B is a new Cardi B song, obviously, and screw it, I probably like this better than WAP. It's faster tempo, and the piano line is really infectious. And actually, I think the better song to compare it to would be Money from 2019. I could say this song is a much better version of Money, with a brighter, more up-tempo kind of beat to it. The piano chords on the beat make the song super infectious, just like Money, but it doesn't have that annoying pitch-shifted vocals. The song gets very sexual in places, especially at the end, and it can be a bit off-putting for sure, but Cardi B's rapping and charisma really sells the song. Yeah, there's some questionable lines in here, particularly about how broke boys don't deserve no pussy, but I mean, she kind of sells the whole thing on charisma, and that's really what works for Cardi B, is charisma. So yeah, this song's super infectious, and I like it a lot. It's probably one of my favorite Cardi songs ever since something like Bodak Yellow, or I like it. Good stuff.
Wanna know about the highs and lows. Well, summer all I did was rest, okay? And New Year's all I did was stretch, okay? And Valentine's Day I had sex, okay? We'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, we'll see what's about to happen next.
Wow, as far as Drake songs go, this seems to have really underperformed. Like, really. But I actually kind of like this one. It's got a lot more energy than most Drake songs. And Drake feels almost angry in a weird, apathetic way on this song. I don't really get it, but it works. Again, this is the most energetic thing he's released in a long time, and if I'm comparing this to something like Toosie Slide, then yeah, I'll definitely take this any day of the week. I didn't really listen to the other songs. I know one of them was a 6-minute freestyle. What am I really supposed to say? But this song's alright.
You know I'm just a flight away. If you want it, you could take a private plane. A kilómetros estamos conectando. Y me prendes aunque no me estés tocando. You know I got a lot to say. All these voices in the background.
I never heard of Kali Uchis until this song started charting, and I really like it. It's a super chill R&B song with a very glossy, fun vibe to it. it just sounds really great overall. I like this trend. We're getting a lot of songs like this. Good Days by SZA, Streets by Doja Cat is finally successful. It took like a year, but okay. And even on the male side, we've got songs like Heartbreak Anniversary by Giveon. But yeah, Telepatia is a really good song. The Spanglish actually works really well here. And Kali Uchis has a really pretty voice. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these
So I started randomly hearing buzz about this song and then checking out Spotify charts where it was pretty much big in every country except the US, and it's finally on its way up here, which is good. I mean, it took this song long enough to catch on in the States, but I kind of like this. I don't know who this Masked Wolf guy is. I read and found out he's Australian, which makes a lot of sense considering some of the accent inflections on parts of the verses, but this is about a 2-minute rap song which is bookended by this really infectious hook. I'll admit, the line, when your brain goes numb, you can call it mental freeze, is kind of stupid and I really don't like it, but it's still catchy. And he has about 3 different flows that he switches into in the rap here. It's a pretty standard content as far as rap songs go, but this guy actually has decent flows and sells it pretty well. This is honestly one of my most listened songs of the month. It's super infectious, and I'm glad I found this song.
Why they on me out flying, sipping low key? I'm sipping low key at Onyx, find a rider. I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb.
I know a lot of people don't like this one, but as someone who really has no connection to the original Goosebumps and wasn't really paying attention to the charts or Travis Scott back then, I really like this remix. I like these Deep House remixes, and it's a trend that I'm really enjoying, as I am a pretty big fan of Deep House. I thought Roses was really great last year, and I wouldn't say this is as good as that, but it's got this really dark, bassy atmosphere, and it has a good drop to it. Again, you could say this is somewhat lazy for a remix compared to something like Roses, which changed the tempo and the vocals, whereas this is just kind of putting a beat under Goosebumps. But I still really think the darker Deep House fits the atmospheric vibe of the song really well. It's just felt like a natural fit for Goosebumps, and I'm glad this is charting.
Nights in the middle of June, he waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Usually I put something on TV.
Okay, so I'm still not really sure entirely what to make of the song. First of all, this band is called Glass Animals. That's a weird name. But more importantly, this song seems to be getting a lot of ire and hatred from some of my friends. They really don't like the song, and I think it's fine. It's kind of a nice vibe. I mean, Heatwaves is a good description for this song. It feels like something you would play on a summer night, just kind of on the porch, in a very chill vibe. The song's about a relationship that isn't really working out, and the narrator wants to make this person happier by not being in his life. I mean, I guess, Marshmallow, but no, seriously. This song is just kinda here for me. I don't think it's bad, and it's a nice vibe when it comes on. It's kind of swapped out production here and some odd pitch shifting, but overall, I'm not really sure what people are seeing to hate in this. It's just kind of there for me. So yeah, Heatwaves is kind of just exists. But it's good. It's a decent song. Okay, back with the girl groups, we have Weekly. I'm sorry, I'll never not call them that. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put 3 E's in this group's name is stupid. Considering they have 7 members and the lead singer goes by Monday, why the hell didn't they make all the members' names days of the week? But I don't know. Tag Me was a really cute song, and I thought it was really fun when it debuted. Zigzag did absolutely nothing for me, and here we are with their 3rd single after school, and well, this chorus is derivative of like about a million things. This feels like an incredibly common chord progression. A lot of people are saying it reminds them of So Am I like Ava Max, but knowing Ava Max, I'm sure that's not an original composition from her either, so I don't really know what this is lifted from, but it's infectious, it's cute. It doesn't quite reach the heights of something like Tag Me. It's not nearly as upbeat and bubbly, but it is still a fun song. not something I'll ever really come back to, but something I can see being a fair song that for the people to enjoy. If you're into this super bubbly girl group kind of thing, check it out, I suppose.
Then we gang low, that's another piece, that's another zone. Ice in the VVs, now she down to get treachy. I got all this water on me like Fiji. Bitch, I'm posted up with hats and the sleazies. Smoking the Zaza, they go straight to the Mata. Then I'm up in the chopper, hitting the chopper.
Boy, I am late on this one. I put it in my top 20 ranked, but of course I didn't talk in that video, I just put it in a middle tier spot. And yeah, that's about my opinion on Whoopsie to this day. I've not really been a fan or all that invested in this whole drill thing, but I mean, CJ seems like a pretty good MC. The beat kind of slaps. I really like that vocal sample in the back, and the deep bassy bits and the aggressive nature of drill does kind of work in my opinion. So, yeah, this song's good. It's just not remarkable, but I do like it.
Me enteré, se nota cuando me ves. Ahí donde no has llegado, sabes que yo te llevaré. Dime qué quieres beber, es que tú eres.
I give this song another high rating in my top 20 ranked, but I again didn't discuss it. So here we are with Dakiti by Bad Bunny and Jay Cortez. I think the rest of the song's kind of okay. It's got this cool swamped out beat and it's kind of mediocre overall. The song doesn't do much for me, but man, when the beat drops, it hits really hard. I'm not sure why the beat drop works so well on this song, but the intensity of the drop is absolutely awesome. So, it's a song that is okay overall, but has a really sick drop. Kind of like Going Bad by Drake and Meek Mill a couple years ago. That was a song which I thought was really underwhelming overall, but when the beat dropped, it slapped hard. That's kind of how I feel about Dakiti. Not a bad song, and a song with a very good beat that slaps, and it's a nice vibey song. I like it. Stalker. This was not what I expected. Or 3A released an absolute banger and bombshell of a song last year with Yes Sir, and I was expecting something like that, but no, this song's actually kind of laid back in comparison. It feels very derivative compared to something like Yes Sir. Honestly, the song's fine, but it didn't really do much for me, and I'm kind of disappointed. I really wanted to hear something more bombastic and exciting from this group after a year.
I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. Had conversation, yeah, I think he's alright. Seemed kinda funny, yeah, kinda my type. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. And it was closer than you know. Playing with the enemy, gambling with my soul. It's so hard to say no when you're dancing with the devil.
Now, I haven't listened to Demi Lovato's album yet, that's definitely on my docket, but I do have some thoughts about the two singles she released. This is the collaboration with Ariana Grande, where I think the production's kind of cheap overall. I don't really like the trap percussion overall, it just feels really cheap. It kind of does feel like Ariana Grande-esque production though, which doesn't make it wrong. Demi and Ariana have decent chemistry. I really think this song feels more like Ariana's than Demi's though, just because of the production itself. But, and hearing Demi's over-belting on a song like this feels really jarring compared to Ariana Grande's cooing, especially on a song which has very limp Ariana-esque production. So yeah, I like the song and I like the content of it, but it doesn't strike me as being this epic, amazing song. I am glad to hear Ariana Grande on another song though, so yeah, it's definitely nice. And my thoughts on Dancing with the Devil are a lot different. This song is a lot more of a power ballad where Demi Lovato sings about her inner demons after facing addiction and coming close to dying. It's a pretty hard-hitting song, and she absolutely sells it. Demi's vocals are impressive for sure, and I think the belting works a lot better on this one than it does on the other song. So this is definitely the stronger single of the two in my opinion. And can I just say, for those who keep complaining that Demi Lovato isn't making rock or pop punk, Let the woman do what she wants. Now, you don't have to like her music. That's perfectly fine. But she's clearly making what she needs to make for catharsis after almost dying due to a drug overdose. So please be nice to her. Even if you don't like her music, there's absolutely no reason to hate her for what genre she chooses to make in order to cope with her own demons. That's totally unacceptable. I do hope her next album will be more pop punk, but that would have been kind of an odd comeback if I'm completely honest. This feels a lot more fitting for Demi. And as far as her power ballads have gone, this is one of her damn near best. It's fantastic, and this song hits very hard.
So when you're gonna tell her that we did that too? She thinks it's special, but it's all we use. That was the show we talked about. Played you the song she's singing now when she's with you. Do you get deja vu when she's with you? Do you?
Okay, so this is a bit of an odd one. I wasn't really sure what to make of this at first. That Olivia Rodrigo had new music coming out, which, I mean, not surprising. Apparently she's going to be pushing out an album soon, which, I mean, considering the success of Driver's License, I am not surprised at all. And I kind of like this song, too. It doesn't hit as hard as Driver's License, where that bridge is absolutely killer. Deja Vu doesn't really hit as hard. The bridge to this one blatantly rips off Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer, but it does still have a cool vibe to it. Again, I feel like this song is kind of if Lorde and Taylor Swift had a baby, which is a weird way to describe a song. I do love the little songwritery details in the song, which is something that Taylor Swift is really good at. And I'm happy to hear a song like this more popular on the pop charts, because a lot of Taylor Swift's biggest charting songs are lacking those songwritery details. They're just more generic pop songs in terms of the writing. Not saying I don't like those songs, but I am saying that her knack for details is really great, and I'm glad Olivia Rodrigo is getting some success out of the details, even more so than Driver's License with the specifics here. Again, saying I don't like the song overall with Driver's License as much, but it does have those really cool kind of indie pop drums that build up as the song goes. It's certainly a pleasant listen, and I can't wait to hear Olivia's album, honestly. So yeah, check this out.
On these days that feel like you and me, heartbreak anniversary. Cause I remember every time.
Wow, this was unexpected. I honestly heard people talking about this artist, and I never really paid any attention or heard much buzz about Giveon until this year. I hear lots of people saying, oh, he should have been popular sooner, but honestly, this is the first song I've heard by him, and it's great. I mean, this isn't the type of thing I would listen to all the time. It's kind of downbeat and more of a sad ballad than anything, but Giveon's voice is super unique. He's got such a nice baritone, and the production really suits it well. This type of lower downbeat R&B song, and it's framed really well as well. I like the song a lot. It's really good, and I hope this is a big enough sleeper hit that it deserves to be.
In the garden, you know that you can. Call me when you want, call me when you need. Call me in the morning, I'll be on the way. Call me when you want, call me when you need. Call me out by your name, I'll be on the way. Like, call me by your name. Tell me you love me in private, call me.
Hell yes, I absolutely love this song. Right out of the gate, Montero's probably my favorite Lil Nas X song, along with Rodeo from 2019. Love that one. But this song's more upbeat, and I'm really shocked that it worked so well for me, given that the song's only 2 minutes. I thought it would undersell, but he compacts everything he needs to in these 2 minutes. And damn, this song is so infectious. It's really great, honestly. I still haven't seen the video, not because I don't want to, but just because I feel like all the hype kind of just ate itself up. I don't really know how to describe it. Just this song on its own is really catchy. I love the beat with the hand claps, trap snares, and of course the Spanish guitar. It's a really great vibe from Lil Nas. He has a great voice, and which is really distinct and a really distinct personality. He has a great knack for constructing hooks, and the hook he has on this song is fantastic. This song's pretty basic in structure. It's only 2 minutes long. And I really like the sound of it as well. and that he's the one who's going after this guy and basically telling him, hey, hit me up, even though this dude might not be as interested or might be a little apprehensive about this relationship. But yeah, we casually got a song about a gay relationship from a black guy to debut at #1, so what am I supposed to say?
우릴 더 촉촉하게 적셔이 밤이 새도록 밤이 밤 밤이 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 밤.
Here we are with Exos Bacon. He's one of the main vocalists of the group. He's also in Super M, and he's enlisting in the military next month, I believe. This is his release before he enlists, which makes sense. And I mean, I definitely see Bacon as a competent R&B crooner. It's definitely better than when he tried that weird trap influenced R&B like on Candy. That song was kind of trash. I did like his first song, Young Village, which was really sophisticated sounding. This is a lot more in that thing, thankfully. Although I don't really get the Bambi references. But Bacon being a crooner, an R&B crooner, definitely works in his lane. I like this and the B-side Cry for Love as well. I didn't listen to the whole EP. But yeah, good stuff. Definitely check it out.
That's that shit. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. Badass bitch. I get my light right from the source, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I get the feeling, so I'm sure. And in my
Well, this song is kind of weird. The weirdest thing about the song is that I heard the word weed censored on the radio. Seriously? It's fucking weed. No, but really. This song is Daniel Caesar and Giveon doing guest verses here, and they sound fantastic. The production really suits them well. It's this kind of laid-back R&B production. Justin Bieber's a little more upbeat on the hook, and I mean, yeah, the lyrics are the lyrics, but they're definitely not as bad as something like Yummy or Intentions, which I can appreciate. That the lyrics are just more clumsy than outright terrible puns like they were on the other songs. And Justin Bieber sounds good. He has a good vocal performance like usual, and I do really think the song is a nice vibe. It's not my favorite charting song, but it is fun and light. I definitely like it. So yeah.
I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open, open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming.
Well, this is just a really pleasant 70s soul throwback. Obviously, this is something that the kind of music that my dad grew up with, and he definitely appreciated hearing this. And what am I really supposed to say? Wasn't really familiar with Anderson .Paak until this song, but I am definitely familiar with Bruno Mars, and he sounds fantastic on the song as always. I'm really glad Bruno Mars is back to making good music again, after making songs like Please Me and being honestly the best part on Wake Up in the Sky, but that was still a song that had Kodak Black on it. So yeah, I'm really glad Bruno Mars is back and making more fun retro soul throwbacks. This song is an absolute jam, and it's super satisfying to listen to. I love the pre-chorus in particular. Bruno's so good, I love him.
내 숨을 가져가. My love goes deep, deep, deep. 깊어진 your ocean, 짙어진 emotion. My love goes deep, deep. 바람 속에 내 온몸을 맡긴 채 너를 향해, yeah, yeah, yeah. 좀 더 숨겨.
Before I get to the last segment, I do want to say I definitely have some more songs I really need to check out. I still haven't properly listened to that new 21 Pilots song, and like I said, there's several groups and artists who literally just had comebacks like yesterday, and I haven't checked them out yet. I haven't even heard Wendy's song yet, like Water, but yeah, I wasn't gonna end this video any other way than talking about Atlantis, because I mean, what am I supposed to say? I talk about SHINee being my favorite group all the time, and I know it gets really tiring. I talked pretty extensively about Don't Call Me in the last video. This is their album repackage, and I've heard praise for the other two songs that they released as new songs alongside Atlantis. I haven't listened to them yet, but I know you'd say, Raya, why haven't you listened to them? SHINee's your favorite group, but there's a lot of emotions attached to it right now, especially with Taemin enlisting in the military probably in June. We don't have a definitive date yet, but it's something that's making it difficult for me to enjoy this comeback, if I'm completely honest. But all of that being said, this song is fantastic. I should say it's definitely better than Don't Call Me, but the song is so different, it's not even really fair to compare them. Because Don't Call Me absolutely slaps. But Atlantis goes for a much more theatrical vibe in a less angry hip-hop kind of way. This one's more of a love song, and I love the strings. I love hearing songs like this with the strings swell on them. It really works out really well, and all the members sound fantastic as always. My dad said he loved this song. Seriously, this is a fantastic track, and I highly recommend everyone to check this out. If you haven't listened to SHINee, I honestly think this is easily their most, I guess, beginner-friendly song they've released, in a while, I guess I should say, to be nice. I guess I'm saying out of all the songs they've released, which was Good Evening, and, I Want You, and then Don't Call Me, and, this song, out of all those songs, I think this is the one that's most beginner-friendly. And you don't need any sort of huge context to enjoy it, and it's not off-putting like Don't Call Me, which is a song that's really off-putting for a lot of kind of artists or fans. But the song is so infectious. I love the guitars. It has this really great underwater vibe, which fits really well. The strings are fantastic, and I could gush about SHINee all day, but I'm not gonna do that because you guys have to go home. It's late. Bye.